And the Bible said Aaron and Miriam rose against Moses because they thought that Moses, being their younger brother, they have the power to suppress him. And remember, all of them were ministers of God. Am I right? Aaron, priest; Moses, prophet; Miriam, prophetess. And to crown it all, Moses was the youngest of them all. But his decision did not go well with them. Now look at something. We're going to learn a lot now. Read verses 2. Read verses 2.
And they said, had the Lord indeed spoken only by Moses, had he not spoken also by us? And the Lord heard it.
May the Lord not hear your murmuring against the chosen one. It is a terrible thing when you murmur against he that is in covenant with God and God hears it. It can bring the wrath of God. Is somebody hearing me? Especially when the hand of God is upon a marriage and you are fighting that marriage. The Bible says, what God joined together. What God joined together. Listen, that you don't like it does not mean anything. If it is the will of God, that is the perfect thing. It has nothing to do with your opinion. It has nothing to do with what you say. What matters is the perfect will of God. They rose up against Moses because that was what they wanted. We will not allow you to marry outside our village. We will not allow you to marry outside our community. You know, there is this tradition in certain families, and everybody stamp it and seal it, that everyone in this family must marry within the community. Can you say to your neighbor, your partner can come from anywhere? Can come from Japan, from Korea. He or she can come from anywhere. Tribe is not a different. Am I speaking to somebody here? Some even go to the extent of betrothing their daughter or their son. We have this class and level. My daughter must marry a politician son. My daughter must marry the son of the president. My son must marry a doctor. Everybody listen. Marriage have rules. Everything in life have rules, including marriage. By the time we read down, you begin to see the consequences of murmuring against the chosen one. They murmured to the extent that they said, has God only spoken by Moses? Moses, are you the only prophet here? Miriam said, listen, I am your elder sister. You know these elder sisters, they can cause trouble in families. Elder sisters, they cause a lot of trouble. How many of you have an elder sister here? You know what I'm talking about. Elder sisters. In fact, that is why some African people, they prefer their first issue to be a son. Because whenever is a daughter, there is problem. First daughter, second daughter, third, and then maybe a son, or the fifth one will be a son. And then those first one will begin to control the last one. Look at in verse 3. And the Lord heard it. Now read verse 3 for us.
Now the man Moses was very meek.
Moses was a quiet man. He doesn't like trouble. And some of these things happen to men who have no problem. Because they feel that they can now control you. You have a senior brother who can talk too much, or a senior sister who think that they can control you, and you cannot talk. You are an introvert, you don't talk much. So they feel that they can make decisions for you, even in the area of marriage. Marriage is a private thing. When a husband and wife is quarreling, remove your eyes from there. They will surely come back. Don't interfere in people's affairs. Praise the living God. He was a meek man, above all the men which were upon the face
of the earth.
Verse 4.
And the Lord spake suddenly unto Moses, and unto Aaron, and unto Miriam, come out ye three unto the tabernacle of the congregation. And they three came out. And the Lord came down in the pillar of the cloud, and stood in the door of the tabernacle, and called Aaron and Miriam, and they both came forth.
Verse 6, can we read verse 2 together? 1, 2, go. And he said, hear now my words. If there be a prophet among you, I the Lord will make myself known unto him in a vision. and I will speak unto him in a dream. God speaks to many people in dream and in vision. But to this man called Moses, look at how God spoke to him. Can we read the verses 7 together? 1 to go. My servant Moses is not so, who is faithful in all my house. Verses 8, with him will I speak mouth to mouth, even apparently, and not in that species. And the similitude of the Lord shall behold. Wherefore then were ye not afraid to speak against my servant Moses? Anybody that is a man of God, stay away from him. A man of God is someone that God invested power and authority and grace upon. And God is jealous of his anointing. He is jealous of his power. Can you tap your neighbor and say, stay away from the anointed? Stay away. Don't speak against the anointed. Don't speak against a man of God. Just because he is your brother, or he is your cousin, or he is your uncle, or he is your family relation, you look down on him. Listen to me. That anointing on him is precious in the sight of God. You were not there when God called him. So Moses, his brother Aaron, thought, yes, I'm your senior brother, so I can talk to you anyhow. You have to respect me in this house. And God said, okay, I have had you. 3 of you will appear before the tabernacle. I will prove myself among you who I have chosen. To the rest, he spoke to them in visions and revelations. But to Moses, he spoke mouth to mouth. There are people that have special calling. Praise the living God. Amen. The way God spoke to Isaiah was not the same way he spoke to Amos. The way he spoke to Jeremiah was not the way he spoke to Habakkuk. I don't know if I'm speaking to somebody here. But all of them are prophets. All of them are his prophets. You know, family matter is something that is so mysterious that you cannot describe it. But please, stay away from people's family problems. Please help me stand up, say to 7 people, stay away from people's family issues. Can you stand up, please, and do that? Stay away from people's family problem. Don't discuss it with anybody. Don't talk about it. Don't even discuss it anywhere. Just stay away. When a husband and wife is having issue, just pray for them. Are you hearing me? Because they will surely come back together again. I always tell you people here that the first 5 years of every marriage is always Biafra and Nigerian war. Because they are trying to understand each other. They are trying to come together. These people came from different families, different backgrounds. They never grew it together. They never knew each other. So they are coming together under the same roof for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. There must be some shaking. Oh, I don't know if somebody's in there. It's not going to be easy. But after 5, 6, 7 years, they will understand each other. They will understand themselves very well. So when they are having some issues, pray for them and don't gossip them. The problem of Africans is that you want to know everything about somebody. Mind your own life. You want to know what he ate in the morning, what he ate in the afternoon, whereas you have a lot of problems to handle yourself. I pray that God will speak to somebody here tonight. I say God will speak to somebody here tonight. And at the end of the day, something strange happened. Look at verses. Which verse are we reading now? Verses 9. Read for us.
And the anger of the Lord was kindled against them, and he departed.
Anytime you murmur against God's anointed, God's anger will come on you. Anytime you murmur, maybe you have a brother now. I'm speaking to somebody here. You have a brother who is a pastor. Somebody who is a pastor in your family. And everybody, your old mother or your father, they have just arranged one wife for him. Is he a leper? Can't he find a wife for himself? That was what Aaron did. They wanted to arrange somebody. Why should you marry an Ethiopian woman? And God said, no, I'm involved in this. Don't even talk to him. Look at verse 10. Read for us.
And the cloud departed from off the tabernacle, and behold, Miriam became leprous, white as snow. And Aaron looked upon Miriam, and behold, she was leprous.
Nobody can stand the power of God when it comes to judgment. You you say you are a prophetess, oh, come and prove now. When I come down, I will know whether you are a prophetess. I will know who I have called. I, the Lord, have spoken. 3 of you appear before my tabernacle. Miriam came out. Aaron came out. Moses came out. And immediately the presence of God came down. Instead of the presence of God to sanctify them, to empower them, they couldn't even stand the wind of glory that came down. It was leprosy that she got. Moses was still standing, whereas 2 of them were shaking. When you ridicule a preacher and come under his ministration, you receive a problem. So many people don't know this. There are many churches. If you don't like this one, go to the other one. You must not die in one church because you don't like the pastor. The worst is ridiculing a preacher and coming back to him again to pray for you. He will pray, but God is the one that will answer. So when the wind came down, they couldn't stand it because they murmured against the God of Moses. And look at what happened in verse 11.
And Aaron said unto Moses, Alas, my Lord.
Wait, the language have changed. When God speaks for you, the language will change. When God fights for you, the language will change. I said, when God speaks for you, the language will change. It's no more Moses, my younger brother. It's now, alas, my... Because they have seen power. Somebody jump up and shout power. Now you are sitting down. They have seen... And Aaron opened his mouth and called the last born, the same boy he was abusing and insulting. He said, Alas, my Lord. Go ahead.
I beseech thee.
I beseech thee.
Let not the sin upon us.
Don't let this sin upon us.
Wherein we have done foolishly.
We have done foolishly.
Wherein we have sinned.
We have sinned. Verse 12.
Let her not be as one dead, of whom the flesh is half consumed. When he cometh out of his mother's womb.
Now, a leprous person is somebody who is as good as dead. People avoid leprous people. When you see somebody who is leprous, in fact, people who are leprous, they don't live in the same house with normal people. Leprosy is so dangerous that when you pour a hot water on someone who is leprous, he will not even feel pain. He will not notice that you are pouring hot water on him. That is how dangerous leprosy is. Miriam became so leprous that they started crying unto Moses, please cry unto God and ask him to remove this plague. And it touched Moses so much, and Moses started pleading on their behalf. Can I say something, brothers and sisters? You see, prevention is better than... It's better you prevent something than to try to manage it after it has occurred.
Yes, sir.
Miriam, the leprosy dealt with her, even though Moses pleaded. And I will tell you something that happened to Aaron, how his own punishment was served. Because his punishment was not there. But let's look at how Moses pleaded for Miriam. Verse 13.
And Moses cried unto the Lord, saying, Heal her now, O God, I beseech thee. And the Lord said unto Moses, If her father had but spit in her face, should she not be ashamed 7 days? Let her be shut out from the camp 7 days, and after that let her be received in again.
Can somebody say amen? Amen. May you not be an outcast because of disobedience, because of stubbornness, because of rebelliousness. May you not be an outcast in the presence of God. Say that amen louder and clear. And he said, as for you, Aaron, I will omit your name from the book of the patriarch of faith. Your name will not be written. Great men of faith, their name will be recorded in the book of memorial. But you, being the first priest, first ever priest in the Bible, whose name should appear as number 1, his name was omitted. Go and read the book of Hebrews chapter 11. You see great men and women of faith, their name written down, but Aaron was omitted. God knows how to punish somebody. In fact, Whenever you have a tough battle, allow God to fight. The way He will fight it, it will satisfy you. If you handle it by yourself, you will make a mistake at the end. God is the best fighter. But the problem is, will you allow Him to fight for you? We always want to handle it on our own, and at the end of the day, you will regret it. But let God fight for you. Today, hold your peace, and God will fight for you. That amen, I cannot hear it. Rise up and shout it louder. Amen. In the institution of marriage, everyone must understand that God is He that ordained marriage from the beginning. From Genesis, the first marriage ceremony was between Adam and Eve. So any marriage that you see involving a man and two women is not of God. Marriage is between a man. Marriage is between a man. Not a man and a man. Not a woman and a... Who was the first creation God created? Who was the second one? A man and a woman. On Thursday we did describe man and we did describe woman. Who did I say a woman is? A man with... Because the woman came from the man. So the only difference there is the W-O, which is womb. So that attached W-O made the woman a woman. Praise the Lord. And it was the man that opened his mouth and said, you shall be called because you are taken out of me. So which means that your wife is part of you. Amen. Your husband is part of you. Amen. You will not marry another person's wife. I'm talking to somebody who is not yet married here. Amen. And you will not marry another person's husband. And those of you who have already married, after this night, God will kindle another fire of revival in your marriage. Why I'm saying this is because we are living in a generation whereby the devil is busy attacking marriages. Many homes are breaking. People are dying in marriages in the name of sexual abuse, one violence or the other. There are so many men today that kill their wife. A lot of women kill their husband. The devil is after families because he knows that out of the families will come out great men. Out of the families will come out ambassadors. Out of the families will come out apostles. Out of the families will come out great and international leaders. And that is why he is after families. But if you are here listening to me today, whatever the devil is doing against your own family, tonight the Lord shall conquer that power by the blood of Jesus. Your marriage shall never be scattered. Your marriage shall never be destroyed. Somebody rise up and shout it louder. Amen. May God fight for you. That battle your parents could not overcome, you will overcome it. I don't know if I spoke to somebody here. That battle your mother could not overcome during her own time, the battle your father could not overcome during his own time, you will overcome it today. I say you will overcome it today. In the name of Jesus Christ. Now sit down, let me say something quickly. There are certain families today, you see people who could not overcome the same sin that overcame their father. There is generational sin that have been inherited. Somebody, can you say after me, Abraham, the father of nations? Say it again, Abraham, the father of nations. But do you know he committed a serious sin that affected his generation? Even till today. Huh? Look at David, for example. David slept with who? The wife of Uriah, Bathsheba, right? And from that moment he did that, there was an open door to immorality in his lineage. But it was not like that before the act. It was after the act, the door was opened. Before you know it, his son started lusting after the daughter, Ammon and Tamar. Before you know it, Solomon ended up with 1,000 women. Before you know it, Rehoboam ended up with 86 women. Before you know it, Absalom committed the worst. He slept with David's concubines before the face of Israelites in broad daylight. So which means the father can commit an act. I don't know what your father have done that is affecting you. That curse shall be broken by the blood. So once you become born again, that very evil ancestral curse will be broken. Amen. Then it will no longer continue from your children. Amen. You become a new creature. Amen. Is somebody hearing me now? Yes. Say after me, I will not make a mistake that will affect my children. Say it again. I will not make a mistake that will affect my children. Somebody can make a mistake that will affect his children. Judah committed incest. And if you look at Jacob, when Jacob was blessing his children, if you read the book of Genesis chapter 49 from verse 1 to the end, when he was about to die, he brought his children and said, you sons of Jacob, come and hear what will befall you in the latter days. And he started saying so many things, starting from Reuben, his first son. When he came to Judah, he did not place any curse on Judah. He blessed Judah. What actually happened to Judah later on was as a result of Judah's mistake. He slept with the daughter-in-law without knowing, thinking he was sleeping with a prostitute, not knowing it was his daughter-in-law. And at the end of the day, that singular act came to haunt his generation. 10 generations later, that was how David came out from. You know, David came from the tribe of Judah. So that very act can still reoccur after 12 generations, after 10 generations, after 5 generations. It later came forth later on to haunt his children. The devil is not fighting you because of you. He's fighting you because of your children. Yes. Yes. Genesis 3, verses number. God is speaking. Amen. Genesis 3, verses number 4. Genesis 3, 4. Are you there? God is not fighting you for you. He's fighting you because of your children. Genesis 3, verse 4. Are you there? Can we read it together? 1, 2, go. And the serpent said unto the woman, ye shall not surely die. For God doth know that in the day that ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall open, and ye shall be as God, knowing good and evil. Verse 6. And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree to be desired to make one wise, she took of the fruit thereof, and did eat, and gave also unto her husband with her, and he did. Because of time, I want to show you something. Look at verses 11. Jump to 11 because of time. Let's read 11, 12, 13, 14. And he said, who told thee that thou was naked? Hast thou eaten of the tree where I commanded thee that thou shouldest not eat? Verse 12. And the man said, the woman who thou gavest to me, she gave me of the tree and I did eat. Everybody listen to me. Don't blame anybody for your mistake. Don't blame anybody for your sin. Anytime you commit sin, you know, as a Christian, you can fall into sin. You can fall into temptation because you are flesh and blood. But when you fall into sin, ask God for forgiveness, ask God for mercy, humble yourself, ask God for mercy, and go back again. God will bring you back again. Don't blame anybody. Don't be proud of it, but ask God for mercy and he will forgive you. So he blamed the woman. It is the woman that you gave to me. So he is now blaming God for giving him. That is why I am afraid of asking somebody, listen, look at your wife. No pastor have right to do that to them. Because when they will fight, they will come to your house as a pastor and knock and say, man of God, now you bring this wahala. Come carry. Come and carry wahala. I dash you. If Adam can blame God, you don't understand what I'm saying. It is the woman you gave to me. Yes. God did not like that idea. Oh. Can you stand up, say to 3 persons, don't blame anybody for your mistake. Mistake is not the problem. In fact, we must make mistakes, but let us learn from our mistakes. Mistake is, in fact, anybody that ever rises up and tell you, I have never made mistake in my life, that person is the greatest liar of all liars. We make mistakes. In fact, you must make mistake to become a better person. I pray for you today that your mistake shall never put you in trouble. Your past shall never haunt you. Rise up and shout at them louder. Only when you refuse was to blame others. When he said that, and God said, okay, so you are blaming me, I will not say anything to you. He jumped to the woman. Look at verse 13. Genesis 3 verse 13. And the Lord God said unto the woman, what is it that thou hast done? And the woman said, it is the serpent. You see, when a man commits offense, the anointing of offense and mistake will transfer to the wife. It runs in the family because the man is the head. The woman repeated the same mistake of the man. Stand up and say, I will not repeat the mistake of my parents. Are you alive listening? I will not repeat the mistake of my parents. I will not repeat the mistake of my mother. I will not repeat the mistake of my father. Any mistake I will do myself that will affect my children, I avoid it. So shall it be in the name of Jesus Christ. Is somebody following this teaching tonight? She repeated the mistake of Adam. And then the same thing God did to Adam, God did to her. God said, well, I'm not going to say anything to you. Two of you wait first. He now went to the serpent. Look at verses 14. And the Lord God said unto the serpent, he didn't have time to question the serpent. Because the serpent is defiled. The serpent is uncircumcised. He don't have time. It is an error when you are discussing with the devil. Jesus said, cast demons out. Stand up, say to 5 people, cast him out. Cast the devil. Don't discuss with the devil. God did not discuss with serpent. It is uncalled for me to start asking, because I know you are an unfaithful servant. You will always fail. So there's no need asking you, why did you do this? I am coming directly to place judgment on you. Amen. So immediately he came to the serpent, he started placing judgment. So anytime demons affect you, or attack you, or attack your business, attack your marriage, attack your spiritual life, you have nothing to say to the devil than to rebuke him. Anytime you see the devil, don't say anything but rebuke the devil. Somebody jump on my shout, fire! That is the only language the devil understands. The devil does not understand petting. Cast him out. And the Lord God said unto the serpent, because thou hast done this, thou art cursed above all cattle and above every beast of the field. Upon thy belly shalt thou go, and thus shall thou eat all the days of thy life. The reason why I'm reading all these things, I'm trying to let you know, I'm trying to show everyone here that the weapon to defeat the serpent is given to our children. That is why the devil is fighting your marriage, not because of you, but because of the children. So look at it now in the next verse, verses 15. You will see that the devil hates your children. He doesn't want peace in the family. He doesn't want the parents to be together. He wants divorce, so that the children will be scattered. The children will not be trained well, so that they will miss their place in life, miss their destiny, and he will not achieve his purpose in their life. Because he knows when the parents are together, the glory of marriage and the power of marriage will be upon those children and bring them up and make them great in life, and they will be empowered to fight the devil. So that is what the devil does not want. That is why whenever a husband and wife have quarrel, children have attack. I don't know if somebody is hearing me. Look at it here. I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy what? And her. It shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel. Which means that the power to conquer the devil is given to your children. Amen. No wonder the Bible said, train the child the way he should go. When he grow old, he shall not do what? Can you clap your hands? May God speak to you tonight. Amen. May God put a new color in your marriage. Amen. I'm not hearing your amen. Amen. I say I'm not hearing your amen. Amen. I'm going to be saying some strong things. I'm going to, so be very, very busy writing. The day you meet your wife, or your husband, that day your destiny begins.
Yes.
I repeat, the day you meet your wife or your husband, that day your destiny begins. But the day you meet the wrong person, your hellfire is there. A man called me one day and said, Pastor, my wife is beating me. I said, what are you doing? He's beating me. The woman will beat him, lock him up, say, there is no food for you in this house. Say, please now, even if it is one spoon, I'm hungry. There are people you meet, you are blessed. There are people you meet, problem begin that day. That is why when it comes to marriage, nobody should pray for you. Pray.
Yes.
Go on your knees and pray. Pray. Let pastors help you to pray for business breakthrough, direction in life, career, whatever. When it comes to marriage, say to your neighbor, when it comes to marriage, pray out yourself. Pray out. Pray. The pastor will not live with you in the house. It is a woman. It is a husband. There are some men that will come to church to steal and kill
and destroy.
Not even disfigure. But they come, they pretend holy, holy, holy. Anybody that does too much in the church, suspend that person. Suspend. All these people that dance too much. You know, too much of everything is bad. Some people don't know when they are exposing themselves. Anybody that is too much, doing everything too much caring, too much, suspend that person. Somebody say amen. Another point, marriage have divine timing. Somebody say divine timing. Divine timing. Divine. Can you read Ecclesiastes 3 for us? Ecclesiastes 3 from verse 1 to 3. There is time for everything under heaven. God is a God of time. Time. He is a God that respects time. Your time is not my time. My time is not your time. And the way we see time is not the way God sees time. And that is why you must be prayerful. While you are waiting for the Lord, be prayerful. Somebody say prayer. And steadfastness. Say louder. Prayer and steadfastness. When you are waiting upon the Lord and you are not prayerful, your wilderness will be longer. The Bible said that 1,000 years is like a day before God, and a day is like 1,000 years. So what happened between God and Noah during his generation, it is just as if it happened yesterday in his sight. But to us, 1 year is like 10 years. There are people today who are married at 50. Some married at 60. Whereas there are others who marry at 18 and 22. Somebody say better amen. I remember the time of our grandparents. They used to marry early in those days. Some of you here, your grandmothers married at the age of 14, 15, 13. Huh?
Yes, sir.
But today it's not like that. Praise the Lord. Ecclesiastes 3 verse 1. To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven. Verse 2. A time to be born and a time to die. A time to plant and a time to pluck up that which is planted. Verse 3. A time to kill and a time to heal. A time to break down and a time to build up. Verse 4. A time to weep and a time to laugh. A time to mourn and a time to dance. You know, there are some people that miss time, that they don't know, that they don't calculate well. They dance when they are supposed to be weeping. They weep when they are supposed to be dancing. I don't know if somebody is hearing me. Say to anybody, there is time for everything. There are people that are so jovial about life that every day is drama to them. Every day is comedy to them. There is time for everything. There is a time to be serious. There is a time to meditate. There is a time to crack jokes. There is a time to pray. There is a time to seek the face of God. There is a time to be in the house of God. There is a time to praise God. There is a time to clap your hand. There is a time to worship. There is a time to go to the office. There is a time to eat. When you are hungry, you eat, you eat, you eat. Some people over spiritualize everything. At a particular time, a man of God, the wife was complaining to me in Indonesia. We went for a program, and the wife said that the husband does not have time for her. Every time he will carry Bible. And I said to the man, listen, you know, can you be praying? Have you ever seen anybody who is praying for 24 hours? No, let's be truthful. No matter how born again you are, filled with the Holy Ghost, anointed. 24 hours, you need deliverance. That one has gone out of hand. This one is no more spiritual. At least, let's say out of 24 hours, 6 hours you are praying. The 24 minus 6. What are you doing with 18 hours? On Thursday, what did I tell you that marriage is all about? Marriage is a thing of the flesh. And a man shall leave his father and his mother and be joined to his wife, and both of them shall become one spirit. One soul. Look at them, they are looking at me. Some men, I don't know what is wrong with them. Every time, business. I have this appointment. I have the other one. Women need attention. That is how they know. Men need to pay bills. So you have to balance it. Because if you stay in the house, you know, when somebody overstays his work, if he stay in the house and it is time to pay bill and he doesn't have money, it is still you that will say, hey, you lazy man, you good for nothing. Somebody say priority. See, there is nobody that have 25 hours in a day. Is there anybody here? You know, you created your own time, different from every. Is there anybody? We all have 24 hours. But the question is, what do you do with your time? How do you plan yourself? Yes, everybody is busy, but it depends on how you plan yourself. What did you place? What are the most important things you place first? People don't know how to do that. That is where they make mistake. Today God will speak to you. Amen. On how to organize your life. Amen. Another point for singles. Anybody who is here, you are a man, you want to get married this year, and you are jobless, forget marriage. Forget marriage. You don't have a job. You don't have tomorrow. You don't have yesterday. You don't have hope. You don't have hopeless. And you want to bring somebody's daughter to keep in your house so that she will die of hunger. Holy Ghost! If you don't shout fire, you are one of them. Holy Ghost! I want to marry because Okeke married. I want to marry because Richard is married. Listen, remember what we are reading here. Time. My time is not your time. Your time is not mine. There are people that married before the time that they were supposed to marry, and now they are out of marriage. Yes. Wait for your time. When your time comes, whether you are praying that period or not, somehow, God will rearrange you and you will meet your party. It will happen. It will happen. There is something powerful about God's time. When the time comes, it must happen. Just keep your hands clean and be faithful. And stop sleeping around and going from club to club, party to party, sleeping with different women. Some men, they have #1 degree in sleeping with. Today they slept with the Congolese. Tomorrow is Gambia. More than 5 women is carrying their children. They have dozens of children everywhere. Some of them don't even know the number of children.
They don't know their names.
You have to be disciplined. Very, very disciplined. Marriage is all about discipline, maturity, and wisdom. Genesis chapter 2 verse 15. And God took the man he made and kept him in the garden. It was in the garden that Adam received wisdom and power and became mature enough for marriage. So in verse 18, the Lord now look and say, no, this man is now mature and he is wise and he has discovered his purpose, he has discovered his destiny. It is not good for him to be alone. Now I will find him a help meant for him. So which means that a man without vision, a man without knowledge, a man without discipline, it is good for him to be. Somebody say vision. Vision. Say it again, vision. Vision. Can you rise up and say vision? When you have vision, you have destiny. Your destiny is secured. Your vision is not that job you are doing now. You can lose it tomorrow. Oh, I hope I said something. Your vision is not that you have 10 million naira in your account. 10 million naira is nothing these days. That your vision is your purpose in life. What did God call you to do in life? What are you going to become? Listen, poverty is not lack of money. Poverty is lack of idea. Lack of creativity. Somebody might not have money now, but they have idea. He is richer than that person. I hope I said so. Are you a monument? Somebody say vision. Vision. Say vision. Vision. Say potential. Can you rise up and say, I am pregnant with something? There is something in me. I have vision. I have potential. God is in me. Christ in me. The hope of glory. Christ is inside of me. Greater is he that is in me than he that is in me. So when God said it is not good for the man to be alone, he discovered that Adam is now ready. So many people are not ready and they are praying for marriage. Your wife will never manifest if you are not ready. Your husband will never manifest if you are not ready. There are so many women today, they don't know how to cook. They don't know anything, but they want a man. Who do you want to punish? God loves all of us, so he can never punish anybody by bringing him your way when you don't know how to cook. The only thing you know how to do is like this every day. You are in your mirror. Some cannot even boil hot water. You can't boil hot water. They cook a gushy soup here. Oil is one side. Salt will now settle. Then pepper will say, I am here. Oh, I am here. But if you eat that kind of soup, your life will never remain the same. And an African man loves his stomach. So the man come back from work, he expects to be fed, he expects to take a very good shower and have a nice sleep. Only for him to meet the worst disaster of his life. So what am I trying to say? God will prepare the man and prepare the woman. Yes. Listen. When you are still a girl, you are not qualified. Yes. When you are still a lady, you are not qualified. You must be a woman. Yes. And wait before you clap. Being a woman is not 40-year-old, 50-year-old. You can be a 21-year-old woman, 25-year-old woman. But first of all, go to school and graduate. Yes. Graduate. That is why there is disaster today in marriages. The man is not prepared, the woman is not prepared, and they just get married. And by the time they are now trying to get themselves together, 10 years, 20 years, they have not achieved anything. Say after me, boys marry for sex.
Boys marry for sex.
But men marry for purpose. Say it again, say it again, say it again. Now, why I say this is there are some people who say, I want to avoid temptation. That is why I'm trying to marry. If you are somebody that is promiscuous, marriage does not cure promiscuity.
Yes.
In fact, that is even when it starts. Huh?
Yes.
That is when it starts. In fact, we will touch that place now because that place is where some people have disease. A lot of you here. I don't know where to start now. Everywhere is just coming. The whole thing is just. Can you say amen? Can you say amen? I said something on Thursday. If you want to end a relationship, okay, say after me. Broken engagement. It's better than broken marriage. If that very relationship is not working well, it's better you end it peacefully, not with violence. Because there are some people that are so desperate that they don't want to lose you. They don't want to behave well, and at the same time, they don't want to lose you. Then you end it in violence. You know, Satan is wicked. They bring wicked ideas, how to hurt you, how to kill you, how to stab you, or do something bad to you. So you need wisdom to end relationship when it's not working. Have you ever seen people who pour acid on somebody's face? Is that not wickedness? So what is the intention? Since I can't have her, nobody will. Any man that comes to you to marry you as a young woman, find out who he is. Find out his original name. Find out his village. Find out where he come from. Find out what he's doing for a living. I wish I said something. Find out everything. Some men have 3 children with another woman. They migrate from Australia to Dubai to come and get married to you, and you don't know. You have 3 in Japan, 3 in Australia, only for you to discover it after 6 years of marriage. One boy will come from nowhere and say, find out every information about that man. Then if you are a sister here, I want to advise anybody that is a married man that comes your way, Holy Ghost. If you must succeed as a woman in life, have nothing to do with a marriage. Don't even involve yourself. If you must succeed as a young man, don't ever go close to a marriage. You don't know there are women who marry 3 husbands and they are controlling them at the same time. You don't know. There are women who are very smart. They keep this one here, keep the other one here, and they don't know. Can somebody say amen? Can somebody say amen? And this night we are going to be talking about eunuchs, because I told us there are people who are not meant to get married. We are going to discuss 4 types of eunuchs. 4 types of eunuchs. But before that, let's look at types of husband, types of wives. We have different types of husband, we have different types of wives. This is for the marriage couples now, because we are trying to merge it together, both single and marriage. So anything I'm saying, if it's for you, you take it down. Then after that, we talk about what you should look out for in a man you want to marry. As a single woman, as a single man, what is the major thing in any man before you say yes to him? Last Sunday I said that if you are a woman who don't want to get involved with public figures, don't say yes to a pastor. Don't say yes to a doctor. Because these are public figures. Don't say yes to great business entrepreneurs. Because there are some people, they are not learned. Somebody comes to marry them, and they begin to harass that person's life. Anybody that comes across him, you say, who is this? Who is this? Who is her? Who is she? Who is he? Huh? And that thing can destroy marriage very fast. Praise the Lord. Because every public figure is a professional. Trained. Okay, let's look at type of wife. First of all, I want to be fast because of time. We have a lot of things this night. Thanksgiving and many things. Where is Henry? Henry, you bring the child to church today. Clap for Evangelist Henry now. Wait. Why is it that anytime I call him evangelist, he becomes very uncomfortable? If you are not an evangelist, who are you? You are an evangelist. You should be happy. Or is he not? Amen. Types of wives. Number one is authoritative wife. Very authoritative. Those ones that beat their husband. Those ones that they want to take over the house. They want to be everything. The man cannot say anything. Anytime the man talk, hey, shut up. The man will keep quiet because he wants peace. Such wives will not come your way. Number two is the destructive wife. This one, anytime there is a quarrel, there is this demon that jumps into her. She just goes straight to properties. She carry television, she break. She carry loopers, she break it. She break the car, she destroy things. Then after she will come and say, I'm sorry, they will reconcile. 1 week later, there is another argument again. She goes to the kitchen and start breaking plates. We call it destructive wife. She's there to destroy things. So that kind of wife needs deliverance. Because that action is not normal. There is a spirit that is instigating it. Praise the Lord. Number three is the promiscuous wife. The promiscuous wife is a type that have numerous boyfriends, male figures outside, sleeping around, and such woman will not come your way if you are not yet married in Jesus' name. Then number four is the dirty wife. Every morning she smells onions. Kitchen is dirty, toilet dirty, room dirty, her wrapper is dirty, everywhere. The man will just leave the house for her. Dirty wife. Cleanliness. Some of you here, you are laughing. You are a victim. Some of you here, where you live, only God. The only friends you have is cockroach and the rat. Cockroach is a very dangerous insect. It carries TB. If it perches on your food and you eat it, you become tuberculosis patient. No, it's not a joke. Be careful. Say to your neighbor, be clean all the time. Be clean. When you finish eating, what do? Wash the plate. Do you know there is a way you keep your toilet clean? You can eat there. How many of you have eaten in the toilet before? So you say yes. No, I'm serious. There is a way you clean the toilet. You would like to eat there. Don't invite germs to your home. There's a difference between toilet and latrine. Latrine, oh my God. That one that have hole. Anybody that entered there, the only thing you'll be hearing every second is cutting. Something will be landing somewhere. Number 5 is the career woman. A career woman is a woman, or a career wife is a wife who never care about the marriage, never care about the husband, never care about the children. It's all about her career. I'm not endorsing women or men who bring housemaid. You see, this issue of housemaid is causing problem in our world. Men, help your wives.
Amen.
Cook, clean the house, wash. It will not reduce you from being a man. It's an agreement. Agree with your wife. Know when you should do it and when she will do it. Let there be a contribution. I don't know if I said something here. You can't bring one maid. You don't know who she is. There was one that happened, I think, this week in Nigeria. A small girl of 14-year-old just killed her madam. And the police came and they arrested her. And they said, why did you kill this woman? She said, one demon, one spirit. So you heard the news. That a spirit, she had a spirit that said, kill her, and she killed. Now a woman is gone. The woman is dead. Where? In Benin. And at the end of the day, some men end up sleeping with the housemaid, even getting married to them. It is because of laziness. Don't allow your children to be so much attached to your housemaid. Because you are a woman, you don't stay at home. Every morning you are out, night you come back, morning you are out. So the children get used to housemaid. They start calling them mother, calling her auntie. When you are married, the first 10 years of your marriage, dedicate it to your marriage. Cancel every international program. In fact, work from home. Thank God we have internet these days. You can store everything in your internet. I hope I'm speaking to a human being. Train your children by your own hand. Train them. When they are 10 years old, you can now resume back your work. Did I speak to somebody? Because when they look around, they don't see you. Anybody that comes around that time becomes their parents. Huh?
Yes, sir.
Train them by your hand. A career wife is a wife that is old, and the husband will always be angry. What are you doing to our marriage? You don't have time for us. And by the time she meets people and caliber of men, she will now begin to disrespect her husband. Though not all of them. There are few who are wise, articulate, smart, wise, and very responsible, decent. But majority of them, it affects them.
Yes, sir.
Number is the information center wife. Gossip. When you see them is in the saloon every day. Have you heard? Any news you want to hear in Dubai, go and consult her. She'll tell you. Information center wife. Before it happened, she already knows. If you are a man, say no to gossip in your house. That house will grow. Just ban it. Ban gossip in your house. If you are a woman, tell me your tongue. You can bring problem by what you say mistakenly. And somebody that talks too much will not know when he says something that is very destructive. Huh? I'm just trying to rush because of time. Number 7 is the stubborn wife. The stubborn wife is the type that disrespects her husband. The husband will still be correcting her. She will jump up and begin to talk back at him. Men does not like women that talk back at them. And if you are a woman that is married, I said it before, I'm saying it again. If you want your husband to love you, never open your mouth. Never open your mouth to say anything against his mother, whether dead or alive. Whether the mother is dead or alive, never say anything against his mother. Men love their mother. If you do it, he will never love you again. He might not tell you. It's natural. Never say anything. Don't say, I said it because I was angry. No, don't say that. And secondly, don't reply word at your husband. 2 drivers cannot drive a car. You have to submit. If you submit to your husband, your marriage will last for 100 years till Christ comes. Can you say that amen to that? Submission, that is where the problem is. Stubborn wife. Then, number 8. The fragile wife. The soft wife. If you rebuke her, come on, why did you do this? She begin to cry. You rebuke her today, tomorrow they will admit her in the hospital. Very soft. Very, very, very soft. Too soft. In everything, spiritually, weak. physically weak, emotionally. You just have to be carrying her like an egg, you know. Do you want to preach? Can somebody say amen? Amen. Number 9 is the material conscious wife. Every day, new handbag. Every day, new iPad. And such women, they put their husband in tension. The man does not have money, you want him to change. These women, you go to their wardrobe, you see different colors of clothes. They have more than 50 wardrobes, 1,000 shoes, 5,000 handbags. Are you selling boutique? Just Kukuma open boutique shop. Let's know your name. Material culture. And when you see women come to church, you think they are coming to worship God. They are coming to compare themselves, their handbags, their shoes. Man, am I saying something? We have men also who are material conscious. Because your friend bought a Porsche Cayenne, he wants to buy a Rolls Royce. You put your hand, sew your coat according to somebody borrow money to rent a house in Jumeirah when you don't have visa. You know what? Somebody borrowed money to buy a car when you don't have a job. Somebody is using iPhone. What is the name of the letter? Is it S9? It's associated to 12, 10. And then you don't have job. Huh? Job. You have nothing. No money in your account. Your people are crying in the village. You cannot even pay your rent. There are people that wear designer suits. Every time you see them, designers. Everything from A to Z, customized. But they don't have a job. It's not a real life. You have to be real. Be original. Let people know this is who you are. You know, if you live that kind of life, you chase people that will help you away. Because they don't know whether you have or not. We call it pride. Humble yourself. Bring yourself to that level where God will now lift you. 1 Peter chapter 5 verse 5 says, God resisted the proud and giveth grace to the humble. Don't claim to be what you are not yet. You will get there, but with time. Some even go as far as telling lies that they are graduate of this, graduate of that, when they did not attend even primary 6. Number 9, what did I say is number 9? Fragile. And number 10 is the godly wife, a virtuous woman, a woman full of wisdom. Oh, the wife that every husband wants. The one that will welcome the husband with a wonderful kiss every day. Honey, you're welcome. Sweetie, darling. She can call her husband my pancreas, you are my nervous system, you are my kidney. Somebody say a virtuous woman. Whether there is money or not, the marriage is growing. May God give you such a wife if you are not married. Prayerful woman, kind-hearted, God-fearing, very wise. Do you know these 3 things I'm about to mention now is the thing that control marriage? Wisdom, tolerance, endurance. Wisdom, tolerance, and sacrifice. Because when we talk about love is not by speech, it's by sacrifice. If you love your wife, you sacrifice for her. If you love your husband, you sacrifice for him. If you love your husband, you tolerate him. Somebody say it louder, amen. Proverbs chapter 14 verse 1. What did he say? Every wise woman buildeth, but the foolish plucketh it down with her. Which means the woman is the builder. When your husband comes back from work, don't approach him at the door and tell him that the landlord just came. You're not a wise woman. This man just came from fighting, especially this time that there is too much sun in Dubai. Sir, how have you been coping since you came here? Very, very hot. We are used to it. We are used to it. Then somebody come from the other and then return back. What should a wise wife do? Give him water. The head, that man is not normal that time. The head is already, because the whole sun. Then you now add to his problem. Women, be wise. See, do you want your husband to live long? Help him now. It is you that will help him to live long. The man comes from, the sun in Dubai is, I don't know how to describe it. Dubai sun. Especially in the afternoon, 2 p.m. No, Dubai is better. Sharjah. If you come out in the afternoon by 2 p.m., you'll be crying like this. Everything becomes hot. The water becomes hot. They should be paying you here for living in their country. Not expecting from you. Can somebody say amen? Amen. Wisdom, tolerance, and sacrifice. No man is a perfect man. No woman is a perfect woman. As a matter of fact, if you're in a relationship now and that person has not shown every day is showing you good side, he's hiding something. As a matter of fact, you have known each other for 1 year, 2 years, and you say he's a nice man, he's good, and you have never seen even one fault. Today he will show you his side. You will not believe this is the man you know. Everybody have weakness. That is why God brought you together to help each other. So a godly wife is a virtuous woman. And that is my prayer for everybody here. Amen. Can you say better amen? Amen. Then let's just go to maybe 5 types of husband because of time. Number 1 is the authoritative husband. The man is just like a military man. His house is military zone. The children, they are afraid of him. Anytime they hear his voice from the gate, they run inside the house and hide. Everything is authority. The voice itself with authority. Come on, why did you do this? Sit down here, stand here, hand here, run. Disappear. Everything is authority. We call them the authoritative husband. They never accept mistake. You don't even correct them. You don't talk to them. You can't approach it. A woman is married and she's afraid of her husband. She's afraid to, marriage is companionship. Why should you be living with somebody you cannot come close to? You are in bondage. You should relate with your husband. Praise the living God. The second type of husband is a parasitic husband. You want to parasite the wife. The wife will do everything for him. The wife will do everything. He doesn't want money for food, I don't have. Money for school fees, I don't have. When it comes to the one on the bed, this one I know how to do it very well. That one, you don't need any help. Then he can have 10 children. He cannot train them. Praise the Lord. You can call them parasitic husband or lazy husband. Then, number 3 is the infant husband. Every little thing he will call his mother, Mommy, my wife. Every little thing he will call his sister. Every little thing he will call his friends. He is not strong enough to handle issues in his marriage. Nobody should know anything happening in your marriage. It's between you and your husband. The only third party is the Spirit of God. Praise the Lord. And let me say this before I forget. Take care of your in-laws. Take care of your in-laws. Especially men. Your father-in-law is also your father. Do you know that? Your mother-in-law is also... If you are a married woman here and your mother-in-law is still alive, please take care of her, honor her, respect her. Don't fight with her. Don't call her a witch. You end up calling your mother-in-law a witch. She's a witch. I see her in my dreams. Remember, you will have a son and one day he will marry. Yes. And then his own wife will be calling you because any seed a man so. I see. I hope I said something. Yes, yes. Everybody's a witch. You know, two women cannot live in the same house. That house will fall. Number 3, what did I say number 3 is? Infant men. We call them pampas men. They are so shiny. There are some men. Forget their size. Their actions, if you see them, they behave like babies. No sense at all. No reason. They behave, every time you see them playing video game. Yes. A man, that is a full-fledged man. You'll be playing football outside. If you see his stomach, you'll be eating. Infant man. Number 4 is the single married man. Married but this kind of husbands, they are so strange. They don't want the wife. Before the wife will come inside the room, she have to knock. And he will say, yes, who is that? This is your wife. Oh. The wife has her own room, he has his own room. Married, but very, very simple. And very secretive. The wife doesn't know anything about him. The wife is living with a stranger. For 10 years, she doesn't know anything about him. 20 years of marriage, she doesn't know anything about him. He doesn't tell her anything. Even though there are women, you tell them something that will destroy your life. Women, be wise. Your husband is not talking to you because your mouth is like gutter. You will expose him and say things to people that will hurt him with what you said. When your husband reveals secret to you, it's for you to keep it and hide it, not for you to expose it to the whole world. I don't know if I'm saying something here. Number 5 is the non-forgiving husband. Every little quarrel, you will remember what the argument you had 5 years ago. You said this, you said, in fact, his brain is full of diary. He remembers everything that happened. Even some women are doing that also. Don't bring old wound back, because it will refresh the new one. I don't know if I'm saying something here. When you forgive, forget. Let it die away. Don't come tomorrow and say, remember you did this last year, you did the other one last 2 years. Praise the Lord. Non-forgiving husband. The last one, okay, let me give 2 more. The 6th one is the promiscuous husband. Those who have numerous women outside marriage, they commit sexual sin. Such men can never be faithful to their wives. And when you have such a husband, the only way to control him is through prayer. Your knees can go far. Praise the Lord. Then the last but not the least is the godly husband that everybody is praying for. A godly husband is a God-fearing husband. A godly husband is a man that fears God. He makes prayer his priority. Everybody must be prayerful in the house. If your family must grow, there must be timetable for prayer. Morning, afternoon, night. The word of God and prayer. Can you say louder, amen? Amen. Can you say louder, amen? Amen. Please, women, respect your husband. So many men, they are not happy with pastors. Why am I saying this? You come, you kneel down before your pastor, but you will not kneel down before your husband. I'm not saying you should not kneel down before the pastor, But kneel before your husband. Honor your husband. Respect your husband. Call him my Lord. Because Sarah did. My Lord. You know, if you call him my Lord, if he will die in 5 years' time, he will not die again. He will live another 50 years. He will be so happy. That is what men love. Kneel down. Greet him every morning. Kneel down. You are my master. You are my Lord. You are my husband. You are my mentor. Listen. Let me tell you something. Come. Come. No. Come. When your husband paid your bride price, sister, stand here. You stand here. When your husband paid your bride price, she left the house of a man, being her father. Okay? Stand before her. Stand before her. Now, face her. No, don't laugh. We are illustrating something here. She left the house of her father, going to the house of another man. From her childhood, her father had been raising her up, train her in school, feed her, make her what she is today. Now another man comes to take over from where the father stopped. So what the father does is, traditionally, this man brings what we call bride price, dowry. I'm now qualified to take my wife. Am I saying something here? So what did the father do? The father will now take her hand, hold her hand, hand her over to this man. Brother, come now. Today, hey. Today, I am handing you over my daughter. Take care of her. Feed her very well. Don't beat her. Take care of her. And this man is taking over a new responsibility, a new assignment from the father. So the father hands this off. So heaven bears witness that day, this man now takes over. Even though he's still alive. I don't know if go and sit down. He will now be sitting down to observe whether this man is doing well. So it is now the responsibility of this man, being the husband, to replace his father by taking care of her, because the husband is also a father, a mentor, a friend. So when you say my Lord, it doesn't mean you are worshiping. You have a God in heaven. You are not worshiping your husband. You are referencing, you are honoring him, you are obeying him. Can somebody say amen? Amen. Can you clap that hand for Jesus Christ once again? And husbands, don't rebuke your wife publicly. Okay? Don't do what? No matter what she does. Listen, every married man here, take it from me. Every woman must behave like a child. Take it or leave it. Yes, sir. So take her as a child. When she does something that pains you, hold your temper. Some people say, I lost my temper. Go and pick it up where you lost it. Hold your temper. Don't lose it yet. Praise the Lord. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Because when you rebuke her outside, you are telling the world that you are a weak man. Yes. That you can't take care of your house. Just hold yourself. When you get to the house, call her to order. And there is a way to handle women. Don't be too harsh, don't be too soft. What did I say? Don't be too harsh, don't be too soft. Too much of everything. Discipline is good, but not too much discipline. When you say to her, don't do this, tomorrow she does it again. Say it again, don't do this. Next tomorrow she does it again. Smile at that third time. Come with now, laughter and smile. Don't do this now. Then come back again the fourth time. Don't do this. But whenever, every day, hey, don't do this. She will see you as a wicked man, as a heartless man. That is how her understanding is. Compliments. Someone say compliments. 3 healing ingredients. You know, every disease have a medicine. 3 healing ingredients in marriage. 3 compliments. Number 1, thank you. Someone say thank you. When you finish eating, what do you say? Thank you. When your husband buy a gift, what did you say? Thank you. When when he helps you to bring something to you, thank him. Thank each other. Then the second one is, I am sorry. I'm sorry cannot kill you. When you say I am sorry, it brings down the temper. Don't claim right over what you know you did wrong. Just say I am sorry. And when you say I am sorry, say it with humility. Don't say, I'm sorry now, I'm sorry. You are not sorry when you say that. It's just like somebody saying to somebody, if I insult you now, I'll tell you you are a fool now. They will say I have insulted you. You have insulted me. So you just use indirect way to insult somebody. I don't know if you are hearing what I'm saying. I am sorry. Then you now add tears to it. He will start crying. Both of you will cry. That is what builds intimacy in marriage. Your marriage is good though. It's not a war front. Let us stop having this mentality of fight. Stand up, say to 5 people, it's not a war front. It's a place of peace. It's a place of love. It's a place of understanding. It's a place of rest. Those of you sitting down, I say stand up, I say to 5 people, it's a place of rest, a place of understanding. I am so thank you. Then the third one, I love you. I love you, you have to say it 5 times a day. Whether your husband is living in America, you're living here, there are some marriages, distant marriages that are even more closer than closer marriages. There are husband and wife that live in the same room, they don't talk to each other in 1 month. Every night the wife sleep here, face Jericho, the husband face Syria. Whereas there are those who have not seen each other for 5 years, but they are communicating every day. Marriage is communication, and their own is more stronger than those who are living in the same house and they are fighting every night. So it's all about communication and compliment. Those words you are saying to him or her is building the bond of love between 2 of you. And that love will build your trust. And trust will build your knowledge. Knowledge will build understanding. Understanding will bring you to your place of destiny. Praise the living God. Hallelujah. Praise the living God. Hallelujah. And women, you must know that men who are from Africa, they love food. When I say food, I mean good. You must learn what is your husband, what kind of food does he like. Always prepare it and give to him. Praise the Lord. Appreciation. And always appreciate your husband, always appreciate your wife. And thank God for you. Since I married you, God has been helping me. Your encouragement builds me up. God will keep you. God will protect you. Those words you are saying to her, we encourage her to do more. Don't say to your wife that she's a Jezebel. That since you married her, your life has been hell. No woman wants to hear such thing. And don't say to your husband that he is a problem to your life, he is a mistake. One man was crying one day, and I asked him, brother, why are you crying? He said, Pastor, if you know what my wife called me today, you're beating me. I said, what did your wife call you? He said, my wife said, I have big head. Pastor, it's very painful. And I remember that statement. And Pastor looked at me, do I have big head? I said, brother, it will I say, you have a this guy had where they see. Words are seeds. It can build, it can discourage. The word you say to somebody can encourage him. Can somebody say, I will speak words with grace?
I will speak words with grace.
Say it again. I will always speak words with grace.
I will always speak words with grace.
Can you say better? Amen.
Amen.
We'll talk about 2 more things and we'll stop. In the next 10 minutes we'll be rounding up. Let's go to the book of Ephesians. We'll read 2 or 3 places now. Ephesians chapter 5. Every woman must know that the only problem you have is disobedient. If you can only submit to your husband, if only you can submit. You see, beauty is in character. Yes, of course your beauty can fetch you a man, but it's your character that will keep you in the house of a man. Beauty is your character. When you are humble and you are submissive under a man, he can do anything for you. And we have a God that is a wise God. If you look at that Ephesians 5, you will see that in verses 22, he said, wives, submit yourself unto your husband as unto the Lord. You are not submitting to the man because you are submitting to him because God has given the commandment. Now in verse 25, he says, husband, love your wife, even as Christ loved the church and gave himself for it. Why did Christ give himself for us? He gave himself for us because he loved us. And he gave his life, he sacrificed his life on the cross. So which means that love is sacrifice. You give yourself. So Christ loved us and he gave himself to us. So you, husband, must give yourself for your wife, which means that you must take care of every responsibility. Even though she's making more money than you, you can still borrow from her and pay back later. But take care of her needs. It's your responsibility. Then you as a woman apply wisdom. When your husband has no money, don't insult him. Cover him, defend him, protect him. This your husband was doing well before, but now he have trial. Even the greatest and richest man on earth have trial from time to time. So God will still restore him back. That time of trial, be with him, defend him, don't insult him, don't look down on him. And you, man, do fast and bounce back. Don't stay in that condition for too long. Because when this woman endure you for 5 years, 10 years, she's the one paying bills. She's a human being. She will nag, she will complain.
All right, sir.
So anything you are doing, do it fast. Fast. Go back.
Yes.
Let God restore you. Restore your business. Restore your finances. Restore your former position. The latter house glory shall be greater than that of the former. I prophesy in your business, in your future, in your career, that the Lord shall restore you by fire. Restore your destiny. Restore your business. In the mighty name of Jesus Christ. Somebody rise up and shout aloud. Kalabazuba Hazia. Libranda Mahazu Kabahazerosia. It's all about wisdom. It's all about wisdom. Don't look down on your husband because he has no money. Please. And don't marry because of money. Money. What is this thing about money? The Bible said the love of money is the root of all evil. Just because your husband has no money now, you are looking down on him. God is looking at you. He's watching how you treat that man. This is a man that delivered you from spinsterhood. He broke the yoke of spinsterhood in your life. Remove that shame. How one That alone is enough to honor him. And let him remain jobless. He covers something. He covers something. At least you are married. The Bible says time is coming when 7 women will grab one man. I said, let us just hear your son there. We will provide food for ourselves. We don't want you to take care of us, but let us just and escape shame. Honor your husband. If you are a married woman here, I charge you tonight, when you go home this night, kiss your husband, even the highest kiss you have never given to him since you married him. Cook the best food for him. Make him happy. This week, God will bless you people. In another dimension. That amen is for you. This one is for your brother. This one is for your sister. Say amen for Jesus. Why is it that you are the one making marriage to look so? Even some people are even resigning. I will not marry. I will not, because you are the, see, encourage younger generation about marriage. Let them know that marriage is God's principle. It takes wisdom. It takes wisdom. Wisdom. Can somebody say that? Amen. Amen. There should be no secret. There should be no secret. Because when there is secret, it will open door for suspicion. When you are married, stop accepting gifts from men as a woman. Stop accepting gifts from men. And a married man should not be hiding his phone from his wife. And the wife should not be searching the husband's phone. Respect him. Let him give you the phone willingly. Take my phone, don't search it. You are not in security operative. See, I said something last Thursday. If you look, somebody say fasting. Say fasting. Say prayer. Fasting and prayer is necessary in marriage. Anybody that starts with prayer will do well in life. Mark this. Any woman, check women in the Bible, all the great women that the angels of God appeared to, starting from Mary, the mother of Christ, when the angel Gabriel appeared to her and gave her a message and told her that she will conceive of the Holy Spirit. And the angel appeared to Zachariah about Elizabeth's conception. The angel appeared also to Rebecca, the mother of Esau and Jacob. The angel appeared also to the wife of Manoah in the book of Judges, the mother of Samson. When a woman is prayerful, she can turn around the destiny of her husband. Every married woman is a prayer intercessor. If your husband is not doing well, you are not doing well as a prayer intercessor. But if your husband is doing well, it means that you are doing well in prayer. Your prayer can move him from glory to glory. Build your prayer life. Build your prayer life. The devil knows that attacking your prayer life will affect every other area in your marriage. That is why he will always make sure that he cripple your prayer life. But refuse to go down spiritually. And God will lift you higher. I can't hear your amen. Who is an Enoch? Before we talk about Enoch, let's look at 1 Corinthians 7. I don't know if are you enjoying it? Should we stop? Am I wasting your time? I'm just trying to round up. Oh yes. 1 Corinthians 7, verse 1 to 2. Who is ready? What are the reasons? Why should husband and wife stay away from sex? This one is for married men, married women. What are the reasons? Why should you stay away from sex? Or okay, why is sex important in marriage? Sex is important in marriage because it brings you together. It unites you together. Apart from procreation, sex brings intimacy and brings the couple together. Praise the Lord. Now, what are the reasons why husband and wife should abstain from sex? Because when you talk about sex in marriage, it's a heavy problem in Christendom today. So many have been divorced because of that. So many have consulted a lot of psychologists and counselors, and they receive different types of counsel. There's a lot of confusion. But what is the Bible saying about it? Look at 1 Corinthians 7 verse 1 and 2.
Now concerning the things wherefore ye wrote unto me, is it good for a man not to touch a woman?
Huh? Sit down, sit down. It is good for a man not to touch a woman. That was the statement of Paul the apostle. But he made mention of something afterwards. He said, well, nevertheless, it is you and not me. I'm a different person. We have different grace. It is not all the apostles in the Bible that were married. There were people in the Bible who were not married, and God used them mightily. And Paul was talking from his own experience because of the kind of nature he had. But he said, because you are not me, I assume that all men are like me, but because you are not me, so don't ever believe that. You go and get your own wife. Every woman, you must have your husband. Every man, you must have your wife. So you'll be able to avoid and overcome the temptation of fornication. Praise the living God. But then, I want to quickly name these 4 reasons why husband and wife should stay away from sex. Because when you are not together, the enemy will tempt you. The enemy will bring temptation. Number 1 reason why you should stay away from sex is fasting. When you are fasting, you consecrate yourself to the Lord. What did I say? When you are fasting, you do what? You consecrate yourself to the Lord. Can we look at that same place? 1 Corinthians 7, verse 3. 1 Corinthians 7, verse 3. Okay, look at verse 5. Leave verse 3 and 4. Go to verse 5. 1 Corinthians 7, verse 5. Defraud ye not one the other, except it be with consent for the time, that ye may give yourself to fasting and prayer. And then, after the fasting and prayer, come back again together, so that Satan will not tempt you for your incontinency. So you have to be together at all times. The only time you will be apart is the time that you are fasting and praying unto the Lord. But the problem in Christendom today is sometimes the husband will not tell the wife when he's about to start fasting. And there are some Christian men that always like to fast every day. Fasting is not for every day. You have to apply wisdom, zeal with wisdom. Whenever you want to fast, give your wife notice. I will fast. I will start fasting in the next 7 days. I will start fasting in the next 2 weeks. So she will know. Then when you want to fast as a woman, tell your husband, I will fast in the next 2 weeks, in the next 3 weeks. So you know when to come together and when not to come together. Is somebody hearing me? Number 2 reason why you should abstain from sex is when you are bereaved, when you are in sorrow. Remember what we read in Ecclesiastes chapter 3. The Bible says there is time for every time. There is time to laugh and there is time to mourn. When it is time to mourn, maybe you lost a loved one or you lost a relation, the family will be in a kind of sorrow, Then the spirit will be down. You don't say to your wife that time, honey, this thing don't come. The thing they waka from here down. So which means you are not feeling her pain. I don't know if I'm saying something here. When you are bereaved, you stay away from sex. Because sex has to do with the mind. How many of you know that? You have to be happy. You have to be happy. Now, I'm just trying to round up. Number 3 is during monthly cycle and all that. You all know about that one. The number 4 is when you are sick. A sick person cannot have sexual intercourse. There are some men that are so promiscuous that their wife just delivered a baby. The next 2 days, they want to go back. You don't even consider, I don't want her to recover. Now look at verse 3. 1 Corinthians 7 verse 3 and 4. 7 verse 3 and 4. Let the husband render unto the wife due benevolence, and likewise also the verse 4. The wife has no power of her own body, but the husband. Likewise, the husband has no power of his own body, but the wife. This is for those who say, I am tired. That one, not the. You are telling your husband you are tired. Or, I am not in the mood. Go and get the mood. Listen. The reason why the serpent appeared was because the man gave chance. Every man should be careful. Know how to monitor your wife to keep her to yourself. See, women are very strong. And they can keep a secret for 1,000 years. That was why Isaac did not know that the angel appeared to Rebekah and revealed to her about the destiny of his two sons. And finally, when these boys grew up, when it was time to give birthright, Isaac said, I'm giving it to who? Why did he say that? But who knows? The wife. How can you know what is in the heart of your wife when you are not giving her attention? So Adam left. Serpent was watching, watching and wishing. What was he wishing? That the man should give way. Immediately the man left. He came. And it did not take him 1 second. The woman succumbed. Every married man, take care of your wife. Amen. It's a word of wisdom for you if you can catch it. Somebody hearing me now? This issue of sex in marriage is a very serious issue. It's a very serious issue. Very, very serious issue. It has caused divorce. And sex before marriage is satanic. Somebody help us with Hebrews 13 verse 4. When you have sex before marriage, you defile your marriage bed. You give the devil right to attack your marriage. Hebrews 13 4. Sex before marriage is evil. Pregnancy before marriage, sex before marriage, children before marriage. Marriage is honorable in all, and the bed undefiled. But the warmongers and adulterers, God will. When you defile your marriage bed, the enemy begins to attack that marriage so fast that marriage will begin to face attack until the end. But when the bed is not defiled, the enemy has no right to come into that marriage. Can somebody say better amen? Amen. When somebody said, can an unbeliever marry a Christian? Or can a Christian marry an unbeliever? What did the Bible say? Look at 1 Corinthians 7. Look at verse 10. 1 Corinthians 7. That's the place we are reading. Verse 10. 1 Corinthians 7 verse 10. Want to go. But unto the marriage, yet not I, but the Lord. Let the wife not depart from her. This one is talking about divorce now. But look at something in verses 13. That's same place. Verse 13 and 14. The woman we had an husband that believeth not, and if he be willing to bear with her, let her not leave him. Verse 14. For the unbelieving husband is sanctified by the wife, and the unbelieving wife is sanctified by the husband. Else were your children unclean, but now are they holy. I made some explanation on Thursday. I don't want to go into that because of time. It is only the Lord Himself that can give that approval. Don't go by yourself and say, I will marry her and convert her. You can't change anybody. You can't change any man. You can't change any woman. It's only the power of the Holy Ghost. It's only the blood of Jesus Christ that can convert somebody. Somebody saying a better amen. Amen. Nobody has the power to change somebody's way of life. But on some occasion, the Lord can command you to marry somebody who is an unbeliever for a purpose. Which when you do, that person will be converted. But it happens only on rare occasions. It doesn't happen all the time. So don't say because Brother Robert married like that, you go and marry like that. It will not work for you. It will just destroy your life. The worst thing that can happen to you is to marry an unbeliever. Many people today end up in hell because they made mistake in marriage. If you are not married here yet, you will never make mistake in marriage. My prayer for you tonight is that you will never make mistake in marriage. You will never make mistake in marriage. Finally, Matthew 19. Let me close. Matthew 19. I just want to finish this teaching tonight. Though we didn't even touch many areas, the area of medical areas, sicknesses and all that, barrenness, because of time. But let's look at Enoch. Matthew 19. Look at the teaching of Jesus Christ about eunuchs. We have 4 types of eunuchs. The first one are those who are born eunuchs. They are born from their mothers as eunuchs. The second type are those who are eunuchs for the kingdom of God's sake. We call them voluntary eunuchs. Then the third type are accidental eunuchs. They became eunuch by accident. They didn't want to be eunuch. They were not meant to be eunuch, but they became eunuch by accident. Maybe they had some injury or some surgery or something. Then the fourth type of eunuch are those who are eunuch of men. The eunuch of men, if you look at, for example, in the book of Acts chapter 8, the Ethiopian eunuch. Do you know that today, in so many royal homes, all those people you see around the queen, the wife of the king, all those guards and all those, all of them are eunuchs. Some of them are castrated naturally, so that they can be trusted to be around the queen, around the princess. Those are the eunuch of men. Okay, look at what the Bible says. Matthew 19 verse 12. For there are some eunuchs which were so born from their mother's womb, and there are some eunuchs which were made eunuchs of men, and there be eunuchs which have made themselves, for the kingdom of God's sake. Those ones, they just declare, I am for Christ, I will not get married. You go to some seminary school, some of you who are Catholics here, you see some nuns, some Catholic priests, some of them are good, pure. Praise the Lord. Now look at something the Bible says at the end. Look at, this is the teaching of Jesus Christ himself. He said, he that is able to receive it, let him receive it. So it's not for everybody. And it's not everybody that will understand it. For example, now you don't have the grace, and then suddenly one prophet like that just tells you, you will not get married. You will misunderstand it. You will even start quarreling with God. But if it is for you, then you will have the conviction, you will have the encounter. You will know that yes, you are not meant to get married. I'm telling you that it's not everybody that will get married. Even there are people who will want to get married, they will end up not getting married. But these eunuchs, they are different from ordinary human beings. They have different life. They are not like you. They don't feel the way you feel. Somebody say better amen. Especially, let me pick up the first ones. Those that were born eunuchs. These ones, they are mysterious set of people. In fact, they behave so strange. So strange that you can't even understand their way of life. They don't mingle with human beings. They don't talk to anybody. They are always on their own. They are so strange that people know that they are not human, but they are human. They're putting on flesh and blood. Praise the living God. Hallelujah. Why I'm giving you this teaching is because one of the areas we must begin to tackle in these last days is the area of marriage. Because the devil is out for families, but he will not see your family. Amen. I say he will not see your family. Amen. Can you say to them, we are in the last days. 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 I pray for somebody here. Anybody that the devil is after your marriage, after this night, today, that demonic attack will be cancelled in the name of Jesus. Your marriage will no longer be under attack. Your destiny will no longer be under attack. Any marriage that is under attack tonight, receive fire of revival. Receive fire of revival. Receive fire of revival. Receive fire of revival. Receive the The Lord will kindle a fresh anointing on your marriage. Those who are not married, you will see your husband this year. You will see your wife this year. You will never make mistake in marriage. Rise up and shout a louder amen to Jesus. Lift up your right hand and say, oh Lord, my Father. Whatever I inherited from my family that is affecting me today, I renounce it today. I renounce it. I renounce it. I renounce it. Pray a prayer. Every spirit of polygamy, your father or your grandfather married 5 wives, or 4 wives, or 2 wives, and is now affecting you. Begin to pray against it by fire. I pray against polygamy. I pray against the spirit of polygamy, wrong choice in marriage, limitation in marriage. Anyway, the enemy is holding my marriage captive. Today I overcome by the blood of Jesus Christ. Can somebody pray like your body? I secure my marriage with fresh fire. I secure my marriage with fresh fire. I secure my marriage with fresh fire. I shall not cry. I shall not weep. Pray for your children. If you're married, pray for your children. If you're married, pray for your wife, pray for your husband. If you are not yet married, pray for your future husband, future wife. Pray for your entire family. In the name of Jesus Christ, lift up your hands. Father, release your power of revival. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. Almighty God, as old as you are, as old as you are, you will never change. Ancient of days, as old as you are, as old as you are, you will never change. Almighty God, Almighty God, lift up your hands and your voice. As old as you are,